Good evening and thanks for choosing THV 11. I'm Brooke Buckner. We begin tonight in Faulkner County, where a family gathers with heavy hearts every year, holding on to memories and hoping for justice in their loved one's death. THV 11's Maya Ellison shares their story and their continuous fight for answers.
Every August, the Credit family gathers here. It's been a tradition since 2016, the year they lost their loved one, Terry Credit.
You know, we reminisce on things and it's hard. It's really, really hard.
August 12, 2016 is when Terry turned 50. Just 5 days later, he was shot and killed.
When we went to his house, the curtain was open, so we knew he had peeped out there. So he knew somebody out there.
For Victoria Credit, Terry's sister, it's a day she's relived for the past 9 years.
But that Wednesday before he got killed, we seen each other in passing. And had I known that was the last time I was gonna see him, I'd have flagged him down, pulled over, gave him a hug, gave him a kiss, and told him I loved him.
Conway police say Terry was found dead inside his home at the Oakwood Village mobile home community. Investigators recovered a white plastic mask at the scene, leaving Terry's family with more questions than answers.
Why? Was it worth it? Why? Why would you go to his house at that time of the morning, at 2:30 in the morning, and take his life?
Terry Credit's daughter, Sensor, was a teenager when he passed. She says the pain only grew as she got older.
Your dad is supposed to be like your first love. He's the one that teaches you how men should treat you. So not being able to have him through that, it's harder for me now than it was as a kid.
Conway police say they have no new information related to Terry's case. But as the Credit family waits, they remain united, leaning on each other and pushing forward to keep Terry's name and legacy alive.
He was the life of the party. When I say he come around and that's it.
He was a caring man, give you the shirt off his back, you need 20, he'll give you 40, you need a ride. It don't matter where it is, he'll take you.
It's those memories that keep them fighting for answers.
We're not gonna stop until we get justice for his life. I refuse to stop until we get justice for, as long as God got breath in my body, I'm gonna fight for justice for my brother's life.
For THV 11 News, I'm Maya Ellison.
Maya, thank you. This year on August 12th, Terry Credit would have turned 59. Conway police say they are still actively looking for information in his case. To learn more or to share a tip, you can visit thv11.com. Meanwhile, the search is on for the man who led a Pine Bluff police officer on a high-speed chase that ended with the officer in the hospital. The department says the suspect drove away after being pulled over during a traffic stop and during the pursuit took a sharp turn at the intersection of Hutchinson Street and Dollarway Road. The officer tried to follow him but swerved into a utility pole. We're told he is at home recovering tonight while police continue their search for the suspect. And Little Rock police are once again asking for your help to find this man on your screen, Ricky Minor. He's wanted for capital murder after police say he shot a teenager back in December of 2023. The shooting happened near North Chico Road. If you know where he might be, call Little Rock police. Let's bring in meteorologist Simone Thomas now. Simone, it's that time again. Lots of kids are going back to school this week. What are you tracking for the busy week ahead?
Well, the good news is when we have those first couple days of school, likely won't need any heat alerts, but you might need that rain jacket or umbrella. So far this afternoon, we have been tracking some isolated rain coverage across primarily the western half of the state. That has been dwindling over the past several hours. Right now, still picking up on a little bit of rain in portions of Dallas County over into into Cleveland County, into portions of Calhoun County as well across some of south central Arkansas. As we continue through the evening, closer to home, a few passing clouds, but mostly clear skies expected through the evening. Generally right around average for this time of year. Going to start your Monday morning around those middle 70s, but again in the afternoon we will have the opportunity for more of those showers like what we saw today, with more rain coming over the days ahead. We'll talk more about the week in detail coming up in that 7-day outlook.
All right, thanks, Simone. While some students may be excited to head back to school, others may feel a bit anxious. And while having some nerves is completely normal, there are some things parents can do to help. Mandy Gaither breaks down ways to ease that back-to-school anxiety.
It's a new year with new classes and teachers, and for some students, it can all feel a little overwhelming.
Having a certain amount of nerves, you'll see with almost every kid, even the kids that are excited about going back to school.
Child adolescent psychiatrist Dr. Bahar Hashimi with El Camino Health says sometimes it's more than just nerves. Some children struggle with anxiety, and she says the first way to help with the transition back to school is to talk with them and be an active listener while validating whatever it is that they're feeling.
Oftentimes parents want to jump in and make it better. But first and foremost, just being that active listener and really helping to understand what your child is feeling.
Next, Hashimi says to establish routines, create a regular sleep schedule, mealtime, and homework time. She says consistency can help ease the anxiety of something new. And finally, spot the signs of more significant anxiety or depression, which can include sleep changes, excessive self-doubt, lack of interest in things they used to enjoy, being more withdrawn, or struggles with connecting to others.
Really leaning into that intuition that you have about your child and knowing when it's time to seek help from a medical professional is important.
And THV11 is partnering with United Way to make sure every child has the supplies they need to learn, grow, and thrive. Every dollar you give helps ensure no child walks into the classroom empty-handed. You can go to THV11.com right now to donate. The THV11 School Supply Fundraiser wraps up tomorrow, August 11th. A big thank you to everyone who has already donated. Classrooms across the state will have a different look and feel to them this year, thanks to the Bell-to-Bell No Cell Act after it was passed by state lawmakers earlier this year. It prohibits students from using phones during the school day, and to do so, most districts will use specially designed locking pouches for students to store their phones. Some schools that got an early start with the program say it's worth the pushback from kids. There are exceptions for emergencies and other situations. To learn more before your kid heads back to school, you can visit THV11.com. And tonight at 10, we'll have more on other laws that will take effect during the new school year. President Trump's face-to-face meeting with Russian President Vladimir Putin is slated to get underway Friday, and the White House has indicated it's open to the Ukrainian president being included in the talks. Here's Willie James Inman with more.
Later this week, President Trump is scheduled to meet with Russian President Vladimir Putin to discuss a possible end to the war in Ukraine, but much remains up in the air. Among the unanswered questions, what role will Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky play in Friday's talks in Alaska? On Saturday, CBS News confirmed the Trump administration is open to including Zelensky in Friday's summit with President Putin. On Sunday's Face the Nation, Ukrainian ambassador to the U.S. Oksana Markarova suggested President Zelensky is ready and willing to be there.
With regard to President Zelensky, he has been, since day one of this horrible aggression, committed to peace, and we have shown that he is ready to be anywhere to advance the agenda of peace. So if needed, President Zelensky, of course, will be present at the meetings.
Over the weekend, several European leaders issued a statement saying a path to peace in Ukraine cannot be decided without Ukraine. President Trump indicated on Friday that any peace deal with Russia and Ukraine may involve a swap of territory.
Looking at territory that's been fought over for 3.5 years, we're actually looking to get some back and some swapping.
President Zelensky said Saturday his country will, quote, not give land to the occupier.
My absolute conviction on Friday is that this is President Trump making sure that Putin is serious. And if he is not, then it will stop there. If he is serious, then from Friday onwards, the process will continue. Ukraine getting involved, the Europeans being involved.
The weekend developments with Ukraine come after Vice President J.D. Vance met with Ukrainian and European officials in Britain on Saturday. Willie James Inman, CBS News, the White House.
Before we head to break, we want to remind you about our THV11 special presentation, Danger in the Silos, the Titan II incidents of Arkansas. 60 years ago this month, more than 50 men went to work just outside of Searcy. Their job, maintaining the Titan II, a nuclear missile, one of dozens that were installed underground across the country in the 1950s, ready to be launched in the event of war. But in August 1965, a normal workday became a disaster when a large fire killed all but 2 of the workers.
53 men are dead, 53 men that woke up that morning and kissed their wives goodbye, patted their children on the head and went to work and never came home.
You can watch Danger in the Silos, the Titan II Incidents of Arkansas, tonight at 7 on THV 11 Plus and tomorrow at 6:30 right here on THV 11.
Mostly clear skies expected through the evening ahead. We'll start the morning in the lower to middle 70s, rebounding to the lower and middle 90s tomorrow afternoon with some isolated opportunities for rain. We'll talk more about the week ahead coming up in 5 minutes.